Hello, guys. Welcome to another awesome thing today. Uh, this is Crazy Zombie, and this is what I look like. Sorry if I look weird and stupid, but I'm the person that does Stitch. And you might, if you have seen some of my videos, since I've done a couple in the past, you would say that they're a little all right, but they're not bad. Now the reason why I am uploading that much is because, or I haven't uploaded at all, is because I kind of just not gonna start. I don't know. I just don't know if I will go back and do videos again. If you want me to do videos again, I would like to see if there will be people on my stream and at least saying hi and whatever, or like at least giving me some comments. That would be pretty cool. So you're probably what is this stream about? This is gonna be a stream where I'm gonna do a bunch of what ifs. It's basically, if you don't know what a what if is, a what if is, it's basically is like it's a similar thing of like saying, well, what would happen if this would happen and this would happen, this happened, and then uh, and it doesn't happen. These are basically questions that basically are the typified of like saying the character of a movie and a TV show, but if like what if this happened in the movie, uh, but it didn't happen in the actual movie. So that's how this is gonna go. And we're gonna start with Stitch, and then we might move on with our stuff like comics and stuff. But I just want to do Stitch because this is the Stitch stream, and I really want to keep this going. So let's go. Let's get started. So here we go. What ifs? Let's see here. What would happen if Stitch never found Lilo? Now, to give you this, I would say this is kind of like a very weird question to say, but this actually would make kind of sense a little bit. This is like, what would happen if Lilo never adopted Stitch, or what would happen if Stitch never went to a dog shelter? Would Myrtle take him? I'm not sure. Maybe Myrtle would take him and say, and Myrtle's like, "This is my dog now, and you don't have any dog." And Lilo's like, I want that dog." And then Stitch is like, "No, you can't have me. I'm with Myrtle now. I like her. She's more mean and missile, like me." Yeah, that would be weird, but that'd be really. It's gonna be like it's kind of funny at the same time, but it kind of doesn't work. Other things would happen, like Stitch would go on a rampage and destroy most of the island. And as soon as he starts destroying half the island, Lilo will find out that there's something wrong, and then she will go investigate. And then later on, they would meet, but mostly Stitch would just say, "Get out of the way, I'm gonna kill you." Well, like I wouldn't say that, but like he's, I'm not sure. Or if if he didn't land on Earth, basically, he landed in like a different planet, like Mars. He just smashed through Mars's like cracked up shell, and then like didn't end up on Earth, and then that's where like he met like Martians and like all that stuff. That'd be kind of funny and cool. They would jump in and Pleakley would find him, and they like send him to Earth, and he would fall to another like plane thing. He wouldn't fall into Hawaii. He would fall into like a big city, and he would start havoc on stuff. But then like a boy or maybe a girl might find him and stop him, and might even take care of him. I'm not sure, but there's a bunch of what ifs in that one, because it's like, yeah, it's like what if those scenarios. It's that sort of thing. So that's a good what if. It just doesn't matter what what if is. Anyways, and there's no one. What would happen if Leroy was Stitch and Stitch was Leroy? And this is where it gets a little tricky. Leroy is the opposite of Stitch, and Stitch is the opposite of Leroy. So mixing up the two is like having like a something different. So it's like Lilo and Leroy. Lilo and Leroy. Leroy has a glitch. Leroy the movie, and Leroy and Stitch. That'd be the weirdest combo ever. But it would make sense because they're both like L's, so it makes sense for those reasons. But it doesn't make sense to other reasons. Like it's saying, like, why would I want Leroy and Lilo together? It doesn't make sense at all. Okay, anyways, so in that scenario, that I mean like Leroy is like in the hangar with Jumba, and then Jumba's like, I create my new experiment, and his name is 627 or 629, and I call him Leroy. And then Leroy's like having those like same moments that Stitch had, but like very like almost not like Stitch, but in a sense he is like Stitch sort of. That'd be really funny and weird. Um, Here's another what if. What would happen? What if Leroy wasn't even uh okay, so this is another one for like Stitch, but it's also with Leroy, but it's like little stuff. So here we go. What would happen if Leroy had the same different abilities to not turn into a cousin or Stitch, but only turn into human? Which that could can turn it like saying, so it's like later like next the time that when Stitch got home, Lilo's like, "Hey Stitch, I have a brother," and then Stitch is like, "You have a brother? What do you mean?" And then like Leroy comes in, but he's like a human. He's like, "Hi, Stitch," and he's like, "What? Hi. What's your name?" Um, uh, 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 mm, Leroy. Leroy. Okay, that's a weird name. Still no chat folders. No, at least when some people chat, they just chat. Whatever. Oh boy. I bought a little app that lets me do little what ifs, and when I think of something about Stitch, I'll go back doing that. But I can't think of anything else, so let's do it. Okay, what if your lifespan is increased by 50 healthy years, but you step on a Lego brick when you least expect it, and a couple times a day for the rest of your life? What do you say? Yes or no? Well, okay, so it says your lifespan is increased by 50 healthy years. That's actually pretty good because then you can basically have almost more years to not die. But every time you get one, you step on a Lego brick. I don't think. I mean, I've stepped on Lego bricks. They hurt, but they're not as like painful as like having a nail going through your foot. If you had the same as say to me, I probably would say yes because Lego bricks aren't that bad if you don't if just get over it. It just says one day, so it's just not saying every. Well, it says every a couple of times a day. Yeah, it's a couple times a day. So it's and the rest of your life, the rest of your life, which is actually not bad. I don't mind that. Actually, I would like that. Yeah, I say yes to that. 48 answers like you. 52 said no. Well, whatever. Let's keep going. What if you point out five people that among with yourself would be terribly successful, but you also need to point out five people who live will be wait you point you point out five people that among with yourself would be terribly successful. You also need to point out the five people who lives will be destroyed. Lives will be destroyed. I don't get that. Hang on. I need to read this again. You point out five people that among yours with yourselves. Wait. You point out five people that among with yourself you'll be terribly successful, but you also need to point out five people whose lives will be destroyed. I don't really get that. Um, in the sense that's like saying like you'll have you'll be I guess terribly successful means like it's like you're okay but it's not like really bad. And then the other thing is like then you have to point out the people that you'll be destroying, which I guess it's a little weird. But if Stitch was in this example, he would not even choose this. He would say no, because it's saying like why choose five people to be terribly successful when the other five needs to be destroyed? That doesn't make sense. And the other thing that doesn't make sense is like who cares if someone's terribly successful? They don't need to die from it from the other people. That it doesn't make sense. So I'm saying no to that. 46% answer said like you. 54 people. I don't care. Anyway, let's keep going. What if every organic organism fueled wait what if every organism fueled like the best one ever? What what if what ev- what if every organism feels like the best one ever, but you have an orgasm. Oh, an orgasm. Every orgasm feels like the best one ever, but you have an orgasm every time someone talks to you. What's an orgasm? I need to search it up. Orgasm. I have no idea what the heck's an orgasm. I'm guessing it's like some sort of brain disorder. I don't know, but I'm guessing an organism. I guess if it's the best one ever, I guess it's like something that's really good, but I don't know if it's like bad. So I'm gonna say yes, but I'm not sure. I just don't know what an orgasm is. What if you okay? What if you can live in your dreams, but you can never leave them? Oh, that's weird. It's like that means you'd sleep forever. In one instance, that's great, but the other instance, like people would just like see you, and then people would like try to like hug you, and then somehow, as soon as you try to escape, you would just be forcibly put back to your dream. And later on, once you do escape, you find out where the heck you are, and you don't know where you are, and then that's just no, I'm not doing that. Thank you. 61 answers like you. 39 said yes. Why would you want to sleep forever? That doesn't make sense. What if you get 10 free Starling, and but everything you answer in what if will happen for real? Oh, that's it, I don't care. What if there was peace on Earth, but internet disappointing? What? So there. Okay, so hang on. Let me pull out. Let me take this little cord away. Okay, so it's saying there was. Okay, what if there was peace on Earth, but internet disappointing? Internet disappeared. Oh, oh, that's a good one. I would like the Earth be peaceful, our planet be very peaceful, and not like all these stress and stuff. But internet is so good, and if you didn't have internet, I mean, there's other ways you can do stuff. I mean, I have a recorder, so I can just keep watching the same things I record. But no internet means you don't have the freedom to search stuff up, and people will get so angered, and it's just like it's like this. So you have a world of peaceful. No one gets angry, but later on, when they find out there's no internet, they will get anger. Like, no, it's a 50-50, but it's like, no, why would you want that? What if you never needed to sleep, but you die 20 years per minute? No, no, no. I will sleep, and then I'm not gonna like, I never, so it's like it says, never need to sleep. You die 20 years permanently. That doesn't, that, no. What if you learn everything there is to know about any two programming languages, but you inherit 12 chickens and a horse and a pair of pigs and a farm you have to take care of yourself? So it's like you're a genius, but then you have to take care of like chickens and pigs and horses at a farm and to wear like a farmer suit. I mean, it doesn't really sound bad at first because it's like, oh yeah, I'm a genius, but also I have to literally sit at my house, doing these farm chores and stuff. On the one hand, it's great. On the other hand, it's like I don't really want to do that. I say no to that. Yeah, it's like why would you want a language? Why would you want to learn languages, but you have to take care of like 12 chickens, horses, and a pair of pigs on a farm? You have to take care of them yourself. And that doesn't work for me. No. What if you could save lives by loving those who need love the most, but it's usually the people who deserve it the least? Ooh, this is actually pretty good. Um, well, of course, this would be great because if you could save a life by loving those people that you love, like the families and that stuff and your friends, that works. But people that don't deserve them, I mean, in the context that kind of is true, but in the other content, it's like people, and you can't change them, and they'll always be not like you think they are, but they are like that, and now you have to take the price of them. But even though they're criminals, they're bad guys, or even if they are like a superhero, human or superhero, they are still people, and they're still the person that hasn't done that much. Even though that they've done in the past is wrong, doesn't mean that they make them a bad person. Take that for Sandman, for example. I mean, Sandman is a very well-known character from Spider-Man comics. He didn't do something wrong. He just has to find a way to get his daughter money so that way they can pay for the cancer and the cancer insurance so that way she can have her like surgery and all that stuff. That's the reason why he's Sammy. He's just trying to do something so that her daughter doesn't die. I mean, that's one thing that's pretty good about that. So this kind of makes a little, oh man, this is hard. It's like, so you love the people that you love, like your family and friends, but you also are kind of like killing the people that you don't think that you need to be loved with, but they actually do need loving. And it would make sense because all can like it's like saying if you don't have if people are not like everybody else, doesn't mean that you have to, crap on their shoulder and say, I'm gonna be the person is gonna say, you can't do this or you can't do that and all that stuff. That doesn't really work, and it's very insulting. So I'm gonna say no. Yeah, I mean, you save your lives from your family, but you don't save the lives of other people. That doesn't really make sense. And other people need to be saving, even though they've done the worst. Doesn't mean that that makes them a bad person. So yeah. What if you became a world's famous athlete and earned 5 million of a year, but you became super fat? Oh, that's a good one. Well, in the contrast, it's great because you're an athlete. Then later on, you just turn into this super fat dude. Um, in one instance, that's great, but the other instance is like, why would I want to be a big fat guy that basically is just eating tacos and pizza? And then later on, they're like the news are like the famous athlete was coming to the stage, but now he looks all fat and all that. No, it's like the fame has gone away because he's just gotten really fat, and then later on they lie. They kind of they you don't have your money anymore. You get poor. I don't want that. Level 1, 10 questions. Oh, thank you. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't want that either. What if you never what if you never lost, but you can but well, okay. What if you can never lose, but you cannot fall in love? Ooh. So it's like you never lose at a game, like a game you play, like a board game or a video game. That's actually pretty cool. So you win every time, and you have all this stuff, all the collectibles, but you never fall in love. Now, technically, I'm never gonna go. I'm not gonna go and have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or anything like that. I'm not gonna be gay. I'm not gonna be married. So don't even ask me if I'm gonna have single. I am a male adult, and I'm not gonna have no one. Probably if I have kids, it'll probably be adopted. That's about it. What if? So this one's pretty good because it's like saying if it's like this. So if you think that you're a really good champion at games and all that stuff, you can never lose at them. But on the other hand, it's like saying that why would you want to be a great winner at everything but then have no one to love? It's not it doesn't make sense. I would and even though you'll be a great winner, you also don't have another person with you. So I would say no. I don't want that. Like fall in love is the best way to go, and there's no way you're gonna be like that. So yeah. So here we go. What if you became twice as a wait? What? What if you okay? What if you became twice as attached? Wait, what if you became twice as attractive, but half as smart? So it's kind of like you're like a dumb. So you're smart, but you're half smart. I actually would like that because if you're attractive, then like people will like you better and that stuff. And people would say, are you smart?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'm all right. I'm pretty smart a little bit, but not really smart. But that doesn't really affect me not much." I would say, yeah. I don't know. What if you could make three kinds of app developers very happy, but you have to give their app high rating? Ooh. So basically, it's like you would work at like Apple or Android or like Play Store, and basically you would basically give them the best app feature that they've seen, but then they would tell you need to do an app high count to see how many people like it. And then if they don't like it, they're like, no. I don't think that'd be great because it's like you're not getting the contrast of like saying that it's like almost like an erudite choice. It's like you don't know if it's gonna be a good idea to do this, and then once you do it, it's a bad idea, and then you're like you kind of do it, and it's your fault. Then now since you've done it, it's over. So whatever. So I'm just saying no. I mean, it's I don't want to do like a bold nude, and then like they like see that and they're like, oh yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing. What if the first thing you hear every morning is "I love you," but in always different people who say it? I don't mind that at all. No, anything that Not like this. Colors, smart, fresh, drink. A starter, fresh, a drink, dar, hot, outtastic, challenging, funny, sexy Pokemon. Hugh, Halloween. This is this of that simple. Trust kids. I'm getting our what if app. They'll at least have different things down. And my eyes are getting a little cracked up, but hopefully they're still going as smoothly as they should. So I should at least show you my. Well, that didn't do it. Didn't now did it now. So do. There. Go. This is what ifs, but just it's the stuff. So there we go. More what if questions. Normal, endless. Oh, we'll play as normal teens. Animals, difficulty, disgusting, food, drinks, gaming, movies, travel, TV shows. There we go. Finally, we get some TV shows. What if you had to be on a game show, but you got $100 for doing it? That's actually pretty good because if you were on your own TV, your game show, but you got $100 doing it, that is awesome. That's like saying like I'm on a freaking game show and now I got like more money than I ever had. That's actually pretty good. I like that. Yeah. Yeah. Best question yet. What if you had to be what if you had to be an opener and soap opener, but you could choose which soap opener you would perform in? Um I don't get what's a soap opener, guys? What is a soap what is a soap opener? Opener soap opener. Opener. I don't know what that is. Anyways, I'm just checking this thing. Okay, so let's see here. Ooh, I don't know. Say no. I don't know. I don't know what a soap opener is. What if you had to watch Death Note? Death Note, but light was good students that didn't use the Death Note. Wait, what? What if you had to watch Death Note, but light was a good student wasn't that didn't use the Death Note? What the heck? Who? I know what Death Note is, but I know who is the good student, light good student. I don't know who that is. That could be Stitch. I don't really know. No, I just didn't know what that was. What if you had the watch code glass? What if you had a watch code get ga geese gas, but Leonardo didn't have his glasses? What? Hang on. YouTube, technology, and movies. Here we go. What if you could be a character in Harry Potter, but you had to be a mugger? Wait, what? What if you could be a character in Harry Potter, but you had to be a Mugling? I've seen the Muglings. They're a little stupid. They're a little weird, but and I could act like Stitch in that moment. Funny as heck. Sure, it's a 50-50. What if you could be a character in Lord of the Rings, but you couldn't be Fodor? That actually been better. Okay, I mean, I could be one of the one of the um Vikings and with them and say weird crapple jokes to them. That I wouldn't mind that. I don't mind that at all. They're 50-50. What if you had to be an action addresser in a movie, but you could write your own lines for? Oh man, maybe not because I don't really want to have someone else's lines and then like have read them and then they're like gross and just disgusting. No. What if you had the chance to live in a world of emojis, but you had to be a poop emoji? Really, something from the Emoji Movie, which everybody hates. I don't mind the Emoji Movie. I don't mind it at all. It's just that I don't really get how it's a movie. It's literally a Wreck-It Ralph clone. Um, and it doesn't have that much clarity of what the betrayal of the movie is about. We do get this sort of identity that it's about this person that wants to be a better emoji, but he knows he's a like okay. Since we're talking about the emoji movie right now, I better go and tell you what the emoji movie was about. The emoji movie is about this person called Meth. Meth is played by the same person that plays Tough Nut in How to Train Your Dragon, I think, because Rough Nut is the girl. Um, uh, meth is basically just one emoji that's trying to be other emotions by trying not to be so savage to himself. One day he gets his time gets his one day he gets to be one of the emojis at the emoji place that they get to do all this stuff. And the emojis work like basically your own tap phone thing, so they can tell you what you want to learn all stuff. And the emojis were basically processed to give you the emotion of what you're saying in real life. And your antagonist of the movie that you the meh and the other emojis are with is a boy named Kevin, and he wants to be next to a nice girl that he likes. So he basically goes and says, talks to his friend. He's like, so what should I say to her? And he's like, don't say anything. She's more up to cool standard. Just go and do something nice and say. Just just say something cool. And he's like, okay, uh cool. Something cool. He presses the button and it goes inside the emoji world, and then they're like, all right. And then like when they say Maps word, he's like, oh, I'm back. I'm okay. I'm ready. So he tries to he does it, then all of a sudden he freaks out, and then the emoji does it, and then he does the weirdest emoji and it doesn't work, and then Kevin doesn't think his phone is working. So it keeps like glitching out, coming these little like music motions and stuff. And I like the part when Kevin just like throws the app dance app and deletes it and they're inside and I liked how they made it so it looked like wow why when you delete an app it like literally like the entire world just like becomes a shaded of black. It's awesome. It's a really cool gimmick. I like that. What I don't like is that the movie is more flexible to a Wreck-It Ralph because it has a candy cane section, Candyland, and I like when Matt falls in and he's like, "Where am I? Candy Crush," and that was funny as heck. I like that, and it's stupid, but it's funny and it's weird. So back to this topic: what if you had the chance to be in the world of emojis, but you had to be a poop emoji? I don't really care. To be completely honest, it's a 50-50, so I don't really care. What if you had to make a movie or your life before wait, what if you had to make a movie or your life before you were 16, but it had to be all your embarrassing moments? Oh my goodness. That is savage. That is really bad. Because I have some really embarrassing moments that I do not want to talk about. But if I was making a movie and it has to be before my life was gone, I wouldn't do it because I do not want to share my embarrassing moments in a movie. Then people would say that is the most grossest thing I've ever seen. That's the most weirdest thing I've ever seen. This guy's super freaky and weird. I would never want to be friends with him anymore. No, I would never do that. I don't even care if I would lose my life. It's bad enough that it is. Okay, what if you had to make a movie that your life after you were 16, but you could pick your worst moments? The saying goes again, I do not want to do that. No. Go to the next question. What if you had to be a character in a movie Gone with the Wind, but you got $1,000 a day? Awesome. Sorry. Okay. Keep going. What if you had to be a character in the movie of Wizard of Oz, but you could choose which character you want to act as? Oh, that's pretty good. I like that. Nothing, nothing wrong with that. What if you had to be an action? What if you had to be an actor, activist, activisal in comedy, in a comedy, but the comedy never did well in the cinema? It's an underdog moment. You get it's a 50-50, so it's like, I it's like it might be good, might be bad. I don't know. It might be great, but it's 50-50, so I don't know. I would say, yeah, because it's just what are you gonna do? Could be bad, could be worse. It's not gonna do anything. What if you had to had what if you had to be an actor activist or act, actor actress in a drama, but you were the character that nobody likes? Saying goes, I don't really care. It's a 50-50. Even the comments say right here, I'm gonna show you. Think you can get that? No. Um, yeah, so that's how it works. So what if you had to do your own stunts in an action movie, but you became famous globally for them? Awesome. I don't. I mean, it's dangerous, but if you survive them, that's great because you get more money. I'm guessing. What if you could have a stunt person do the stunts for you, but the film you starred in failed? I don't care. It's like redo it, and do it next time. That's basically how to do it. What if you had to be a villain in a movie, but you could have an evil pet with you at all times? Okay, so if I was Jafar in Disney in a cartoon, I would have to have an evil pet with me. So basically, a spider or a lion or something that's like they can eat me. I mean, maybe they're saying like if you're in a cartoon movie or a movie that's like based on stuff, like your pet is always next to you. I mean, I don't mind that. It's it's kind of weird to actually go through that because it's not really. If you had if you had to be in a hero in a movie, but your true love was found at the end. Okay, That's like Fazimoto from like the what was it called the that was called the Hunchback of Notre Dame. What I did watch. I like that movie. I think it was one of my best. I think, yeah, it was probably my better movies than Lilo and Stitch. Not saying Lilo and Stitch is bad. I'm just saying that Hunchback of Notre Dame did more better than Lilo and Stitch. But Lilo and Stitch is my favorite movie, so I'm gonna stick with that. I guess we'll go with Lilo and Stitch as well. And do that movie. Might do a little scan on that one, and we might as well do Stitch the anime uh and I review on that one as well. So since we're on the topic, I don't care. Even says 100%, and no one said no. So 100%, I don't really care because I'm a hero, and who cares? It's like true love. What if you had to live in Narnia, but you were the most powerful character in the story? That's awesome. Narnia is basically with a talking lion. And it's like Lord of the Rings in a island on an island. That's basically what Narnia is. And if you're the powerful person, I mean, you could be the evil person or you could be the hero. I'm actually thinking I would like doing that. I mean, it's better, and you're awesome. Is there any like? Is there like? Do people like say any comments? Nope. What if you had to live at what if you had to live at Hogwarts School at Wizardcraft Wizardry, but you grew up to become Lord Voldemort? Oh wow, that's saying the strokes from the actual Harry Potter films. Because in Harry Potter, Voldemort is actually in the Wizard of Wizardry, and he lives there. And literally every day, Harry sees him, and he doesn't really care. Um, if if what's his name? If Dumbledore would treat me good, I could become a better Voldemort. But I would be like a hero Voldemort. I would have a cape and an awesome costume. Uh, I would have magic that would be dark, but dark to destroy the darkness. I think that would be kind of cool. I think if I was Lord Voldemort, I would choose the good side, not the evil side, because I don't really go to the evil side, even if I go get mad. And sometimes if I get really mad, I'll do evil things, but I don't really go through and get to the dark side and be part of the dark side. Luke, you'll be part of the dark side with me. It's so stronger and strange. I don't want to be with that. It's not my thing, and I would like to be a hero. It's my thing, so it doesn't really matter. What if you could watch Wonder Woman, but you couldn't go to the toilet during the film? Okay, I guess you just have to pack yourself a diaper and just wear it. I don't care. What if you could watch Superman, but the film was in Korean? Subtitles, or just listen to something different. Still, I don't care. What if you could watch Iron Man, but Iron Man lost every battle? Still, I don't care. What if you could watch Spider-Man, but Spider-Man lost the ability to climb walls? Well, that was in Spider-Man 2 when Spider-Man Peter Parker was losing his powers, and he didn't know why. It was because his mutated DNA was now being mutated to his actual genes, and it caused the effect of him losing his powers. Then later on, he gets his powers back, and that's how he saves Mary Jane. So I don't care. That's already happened. So there we go. And we just finished the movie ones, right? Oh, yep. That's all the movie ones. Disgusting. Oh, jeez. What if you constantly smell poop that nobody else can smell, but you were the happiest person alive? That's 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 disgusting. Let's get on a different topic. That is disgusting. Do you mean say that? Ugh. Kids, TV shows. Here we go. What if you could be in Bob the Builder, but you had to fix things using clay? I don't care. Okay, maybe it's like no, but it's still like what are you supposed to do? Make stuff out of bricks? I mean, you can make clay. You just harden clay and it becomes bricks, and then you just snap that on with like more clay, and it becomes more of a better hand me down and all that stuff. So it doesn't really has that sort of like intense structure. So that's how it worked. What if you could be in Teletubbies, but Nunu Nana wasn't in it? Nala Nana. Wait, Nala. No, Nuda Nuli Nuli wasn't it? I don't know who Nuli Nuli is. You mean the sun? Could be. I don't know. Or okay. So we had Lala, Poe, Gigi, and I think and Nana. So Nana's the Lala is the red dude. Polo is the uh purple dude. Nala is the yellow dude, and I think the green one is Gigi. Yeah, just tell me this. I don't. I think I lost the count of their names because I've never watched Teletubbies that much. I might go and watch that. And you're probably mean that is really being not like a teenager. I just don't care. Cartoons are still funny and they're still great. And if you're not like my age or anything else, you would still watch those old cartoons. And to tell you this, I'm still a fan of Teletubbies. Yes, that's weird, but I still like Teletubbies. Even though I like Lilo and Stitch and Ben 10, it's still a thing that I like. And I love the scene when Lala and Pooh and Gigi are in the house, and Poe turns on the um, Teletubby snack thing, and it starts spitting out all these like everywhere, and it just like it literally becomes this giant mess of like treats everywhere, and then the vacuum's like. It was so cool. I love the vacuum cleaner. He was pretty funny and it was awesome. Then they just ate and ate and ate then and that's how they fixed up the house. And it was probably the best episode ever, and I liked it. So yeah, let's just now going through Teletubbies and Emoji Movie. Keep going. So I don't really care. Nala is basically the yellow person. She doesn't really do as much. She's just kind of like she's very cute and cuddly, and sometimes she'll do something stupid. But she is a very lovable character. I guess people would say they'd be kind of, I don't know. What if you were in watching? What if you were watching Chibi, Chibis, but everyone was singing in German. I don't know what that is, but I'm guessing no one would like that. What would happen if you were watching CBC, but it was all in the single language? I would hate that. No. I've watched CBC and I like those cartoons, but if it was only on a single language, like it wasn't on English, I would shut off the TV and never watch it again. That's how I would feel. What if you were stuck in Teletubby TV show, but the sky was orange? Doesn't really matter. Just makes the atmosphere look weird. It's like what happened if it wasn't what would happen Earth's sky wasn't blue, it was green. So it doesn't really affect anything. You don't feel anything. You don't turn into Hulk. You just the thing is just that the sky's green and now everything is different. There was a time when a bunch of dust went on all over Australia, and the next morning the entire place was orange, and they could still breathe in it, but they found out it was because a dust storm went over Australia's town, covered the entire place, and then the next morning it was just imploded by orange. Later on, that the orange went away in a couple hours, and then it became blue again. So that's another thing. What happened? What if you were in the My Little Pony TV show, but there was no ponies anyone and everyone was Lego. Still, I don't really care. It's a 50-50. If it's like, I mean, I don't really like My Little Pony, and that's saying a lot. I don't really like it. I'm not a brony. I've tried watching it, but never got into it. I'm like, I'm more into those really good action cartoons like Lilo and Stitch or Ben 10 or Scooby Doo or Teletubbies. Like, oh, I said that already. And Cyber Chase, of course. Cyber Chase is awesome. I mean, Cyber Chase right now has been probably the best show on PDS Kids to this day, because it had really good math questions, really good like all that stuff, and it didn't go over like all flat and on stuff because it kept going pretty good. So that's the reason I love Cyber Chase. It's better than anything else on kids PDS Kids. I like Curious George a little bit because he's curious, he's funny, he's a little stupid, but when he knows what he's doing, he's basically Stitch. He's basically I like how the narrator isn't so like very off mission, so he doesn't keep saying something over and over again. It's mostly when George finds something that he's very confident doing, and that's when the narrator is like, George is now thinking about this, and now he's thinking about that, and now he wants to be like this, and of course he needed to do this and that. I like that, especially like Cleanup, which was an episode when Curious George is made a mess in the house because Curious George, the series, is based around Curious George um, in different places at the house that's in the country and in the city in an apartment. And in Cleanup, it's in the apartment. And the man and Yellow Hat has came in, and he's like, George, you have to clean up your mess every time you make one. And that's when he shows him a vacuum cleaner, and he doesn't know how to use it. So when he tries using it once, it doesn't work out. So then so like, I'll be back, and you just stay there and don't do anything. And it kind of goes into like George is just sitting there and just don't do anything and all that stuff, and then a fly goes by and he shoots it off. Then like a couple hours later, um man in yellow hat comes back, and he has a nice present for him, and he says, "This is a uh your own crocodile ghoster roaster vacuum thing," which is like the kind of like this small handy little thing that vacuum stuff that's pretty cool. And he gets it, and then he vacuums the entire house pretty well. He cleans it up pretty good, and then later on, he is next to man yellow hat. He's like, "Can you please go? I'm doing something right now." And he's like, "Yes, yes, yes, sure." And then he goes out and he starts cleaning up more, and then he turns on a TV, the TV remote, and it is on a superhero thing. It's like that's a superhero thing. He's like, "Naughty people beware! I am here to protect this city, clean up this city." And then like he waves at George and stuff, and that George just is like, "Hmm, that sounds like a cool idea." Yeah, and he's like, "Of course, the city is more dirty than everything. I could be a superhero and clean up the city and stuff." So he imagines him as a superhero wearing a cape, and he's flying around, cleaning up the cars, picking up balls for like football people, and then giving and actually also helping out llamas with like leaf problems. And so the llama can talk. So it's like a freaking Cusco sort of deal with that one. But anyways, after that imagination thing goes over, he runs into the bathroom, grabs a towel, and just puts it on as a cape. Then he goes out and uh, and goes out to just to be a superhero and try and clean up the town. It's a pretty good episode. I like it. Let's get back to the actual questions. I've been rambling on with Curious George. Wow, I don't know how long that was. I'm probably thinking about like 5 minutes. Yeah, it was 5 minutes. Great. So you're gonna have Curious George in this now. Great. What if you were watching The Flash, but The Flash wasn't fast anymore? Ooh. In the context, it's like saying, Okay, so he's not Flash. He's called like Flash, but he's not Flash. So he's like Flash, but it's like the Flash. But Flash is like not walking. He's running. I still don't know if that's great, but I don't know. It's a 50-50. So it's like sure, but then he might get his powers back. I mean, it's very sanatory. What if you were watching Arrow, the Arrow, but the Arrow were turned into sweepers? Wait, sweeps, seats, sweets, turn into sweets. The arrows were turned into sweets. That would be weird, but I would still watch it. Awesome. People just said. What if you were watching Peppa the Pig? But it's like, oh man, I can't remember what they say. It's like, oh pig, what are you gonna? Yeah, oh it's just it's just weird. Well, but you couldn't eat chocolate ice cream. No, I like chocolate ice cream. What if you were watching Sesame Street, but the the Big Bird wasn't in it anymore? Oh, Big Bird, that would be guys sad. But there are other characters could be memorable, and I'm sure. I mean, some people may say it's bad, but I guess it's great because sometimes and there, but the other person that's still with Big Bird would still be around now. I can't remember who his name was. He was the big fuzzy dude that looked like a giant elephant. He looked cool. What if the Cookie Monster, but he had eaten vegetables? Go for him so he don't get fat. Yes and no. I don't care. What if you were Elmo, but you were blue instead of red? Oh, so you like Stitch? Yes. That's basically being Stitch. Hi, I'm Elmo. Hello, I'm Elmo. Hello, I'm Elmo. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Somewhere. Stitch is more like Crackle, so it's like this is Stitch, and this is Elmo. So it's like almost like a higher pitch than Stitches, but it's very original. So yeah. What if you were watching Power Rangers, but you were in the show as well? That would be sick. I don't really like Power Rangers, but if I was in the show and I was actually in the action with them, and I was actually out, I was a Power Ranger, I would actually get into it. And I would say yes. I could just wow, yeah, whoa, actually, yeah, whoa. I could show off my moves, and they're like, "Who the heck is this dude? Wow, this guy is powerful. He's really wrecking those guys." What if you were watching Teen Mutant Ninja Turtles, but you were a Mutant Ninja Turtle as well? Freaking yes! Okay, so we have Donatello, um, Raphael, Leonardo, and hey bud, do you have a license for this here live stream? Um, oh goodness Lord. I'm just living for now. And who are you? Wait, I do have a license. Yeah. My Kaylee she gave me it when we were doing my channel. It said you need a license to do streams, and she put her thing in, so I can do the stream. I do remember I have I have a person that has given me a license for it. Why? Okay. I'm off duty police officer, and I came by to check all the identifications. Identifications. Is mine there? Is it okay? Because I remember that I put that my my sister Kaylee has put in you know uh a license in it because okay, so basically it said you need to put a license, and it was pretty easy. She basically put her phone number in, and then after the phone came in, she there was a call, and then we and then there was a code. We just typed it in, and that's how I got my license. Do you have a card that came in the mail handy? No. Should I have been getting a card from the mail? Oops. Here, I okay. I thought if I streamed, I at least have something to do for my videos. And I'm really trying to get people to like me. And I thought the only way to do that is to stream. And I tried uploading videos. I have a couple subscribers, but I would like to have some other people with me so I can at least have like okay. You probably have no idea what I'm saying, but let me just say this. I was born with a bad heart. And a really bad heart. They call it transitintegrated arteries. I don't even know if you've heard of that, but it's basically about when you have a heart that's backwards and basically the body can't it can't function well. And they had to switch it back. And I lived in the process. They had to do two back heart surgeries with me. Then later on I had to get a pacemaker, and I'm having a rough time to cooperate with people. I don't have that many friends. And I thought that this is the only way to get friends. I just want to have friends. All right, I'll let you off this time, but make sure to get the card in the future. Best of luck. Thanks. Thank you so much. Uh, yeah, I'll end this stream in a couple 1 hour after this one. Then that'll be good. Okay. Um. Oh, we were doing Leonardo and stuff. So if I was a Ninja Turtle, I would do basically I would be a really good Ninja Turtle. I would be better than freaking Raphael, probably, because I'd be more smart. I would still be more agile and get really good at aiming and stuff. And I would be called Leonardo. No, no, not Leonardo. I would probably be like a different name. I'll be just called Sticlia. Because I'll be blue, dark blue, and all stuff. And that'd be awesome. Being a Ninja Turtle would be awesome. What if you were be a Dipper Pinus? Wait, what if you be a Dipper? Ew, I have no idea why that's in there. That's disgusting. Okay. I'm thinking of something that would be good to say. At least I got someone that was watching, but it was not a person. It was a police person. That's the first time I've actually seen a person that that has basically gave me the slick. And I was saying the truth. I'm just trying to be a person that can at least have fun and have some talking to and stuff and all that stuff. Anyways, going with what ifs. Let's do some new ones. With Stitch, of course. What would happen if Stitch had strength of 1,000,000, but but the process of doing so, he would lose his arms. Well, for him, it'd be great, but he would lose his other arms. So that means he wouldn't be able to climb very fast, and he wouldn't be able to do that much. So it's like you have super strength for like you can lift up something, you can lift up a planet, but you don't have your full other arms. And it's like he would think that would be weird, but in a sense that's like, why would I want that if I can still have my other arms? It doesn't really make sense, but to me, but it kind of makes sense to other people. So yeah. Ooh, what else I want to do on the stream? I'm not really sure. I'm just thinking of something and trying to think of something that would work. I could show you my IDs look my ID like uh sound, so I guess. So let's go into my settings of my phone. Yeah, I have a phone. Don't worry, I have a phone. And I'm not sharing my other stuff to my phone. I'm only sharing my ID and ringtone and stuff. So oh no, man, what are you doing? Oh man, yeah, Chica, Pakuska. What did I just say? Chicks, if you don't charge right now, I will smash the crap out of you. This is why I don't take bus stops, because I just need Accelerate's help. Why do I always have to have Accelerate? Man, you know what to do. The last time, Vorgax and Gantu, we are not your slaves, we're your buddies. Actually, no, we're your enemies. Against you, basically. Oh, Chukuka Pakuka. Oh, what did I just say again?
Am I doing these in strange languages already, or is this because I'm just saying I'm just for stupid? Eeny, meeny, miny, oh, whatever. Okay, it's hero time for me. Let's see. Forms, no. Diamond head, no. Oh, here we go. Upgrade. Oh, man. Why do I always have to take this guy? He's always the worst. Kevin 11? Wow. Is this guy gonna use mutated head for himself? Great. Leroy is our red guarantee right there, guys. What's next? Do we have Dark Spiral with them then? Ah, goodness. Okay, Pachuca. Now, what else did I just say? Did I just say someone that needs another good sandwich? Ruben! 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 Ah, where's Ruben? I was supposed to say Lilo instead. Oops.
Whoever is on now, if you'd like to talk, you can. This is just my ringtone on my phone.
Why does it take so long for the Amatrix to charge? Because I'm gonna be smacked in the head in 3, 2, 1. Ah! Oh, 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 oh. Where's Benny? Need him. Spyro! Are you here? Spyro? Purple Dragon, where'd you go? Great, Shaman and Mikey are the only ones I have to deal with a giant robot head and a giant microphone with a huge attitude to himself. Ika Pachuca Ukurka Nintasha. Why am I keep saying these alien voices? Okay. Goodbye.
And here's my Stitch 1 for my notifications. I like it. I like it a lot. There was a person on here, but I guess he just ran off. He's like, I'm not watching this. Sorry. All right. Okay, I'm just. All right. I'm gonna stream for another like another until the 2 hour comes up in my stream. But we're doing more what ifs and all stuff. So I'm keep going. If a guy would come on here quick or someone, I would like to have some people at least to say something and say a couple things in the chat or say awesome things or all that stuff. I would like to have someone come on. It was one, and he just came, just went off. Okay, if you would like to be nice, you can like my videos and come on my channel. If you ever want to. Anyways, I'm trying to do this as quick as I can, so let's do this. What if Stitch and Flute switch bodies? So Flute is in Stitch's body and Stitch is in Flute's body. So if you know who is Flute, Flute is this alien known as 145, cousin 145, or in the actual Stitch praise, his name is Twank or Beggy, and his actual code name is 021 or 021. And his basically his design is to basically make people sympathies better. So it's like he's basically likes to make music, but if he gets too popular, he will go into different stages. To his night cute form, to his more muscular and more dense and buff form, to his more outrageous, ugly, and disgusting look form, basically. But that's how, and basically if. But his weakness is basically if people don't like his popularity and his actual mood, they will poo on him, and that's where he will decrease to his cute self. So that's how. So basically, this is how it works. Stitch is walking down the road. Hamster Wheel has a ray gun that is supposed to switch bodies with Yuna. When Stitch and Yuna, but somehow Flute is in the process to be walking down the same road. When Hamster Wheel hits the energy beam, it hits Stitch and Flute, and their bodies switch from so Flute can now see Stitch's body and Stitch is in Flute's body, and then they have different voices, and that's how it works. So what happens is that Flute goes to where Yuna is, but he's Stitch. So when he goes up, he's like, Cat got stronger. I have to lose this body forever. Great. And then Flute is in Stitch's body, and Stitch is in Flute's body, and Stitch is like, I can't even go anymore, even if I have to be so freaking out. Like it'd be so weird if that would happen. But I would like I would like the episode if that happened. It'd be called Stitch Flute or Flute Stitch. I don't know. It'd be funny. What would happen if Gantu and the leader of Core no what would happen if Gantu and Lilo swap bodies? I don't know what that would be, but that would be funny. That would be weird. That would be insanely like whatever. And then in the process, it's like, oh, okay. So Lilo's in this giant Gantua's body, and Gantu's in Lilo's body. So when Stitch comes over to Lilo, he's like, Lilo, and then Gantu and Lilo is like, there you are, little maggot. And then like Stitch is like, Lilo, what's going into you? Have you ever heard of me? Don't look silly, Stitch. You know who I am. And then Stitch is like, well, no, that kind of wait, Swapper. And then like he tries to swap him back, but it's not Swapper's fault. They were talking on a single barrier, and this is just a fake story, but basically they were talking on a single barrier. Somehow Stitch was in their room eating while Lilo was in the room, and she got communicated by Gantu, and Gantu is still kind of frustrated, and Leo's trying to give him bagging like things like, you could still get experiments. Just get the ones that we don't like ones that I me and Stitch would not like in the house, like caramel. He's just basically he just fills people up with caramel. That's just not like that's something that, and then a lightning strike hits the house and it basically swaps bodies with both Lilo and Cantu. And they immediately, when they wake up, they're like very weirded out. And then when Stitch goes by, Lilo hides and then says, "Oh, great! Now I'm in this weird body." And then Lilo and Gantu's body is like, how the heck do I move? I can't see where I'm going." Ruben comes to the back room. He's like, "Gantu, is that you?" And then like Lilo's in Gantu's body. He's like, yes, it's me. What do you want?" And then Ruben's like, I was thinking that you two would you want to like have a special party and stuff. And he's like, oh yeah, sure, party would be great. You're not gonna like go ape nuts on it? Nope. Okay. I'll invite some cousins over and we'll have a little party. It'd be weird, but it'd be kind of funny at the same time. And the only way to swap back would be the same lightning strike. Even Swapper can't swap back because it doesn't work on him. Hang on. um, something I want to talk about. Let's see here. What would happen if Stitch was a robot, but Lilo had Leroy for a backup plan? That'd be funny because it'd be like, Stitch, I need some help. I need to take a bathroom break. And then Leroy's like, go and take a bathroom break outside because I do not want to smell that oil breakage. And then Leroy, Stitch Tron is like, okay, I will do that. I'll be right back. That would be funny, but it'd be weird as heck. That'd be so weird. I would really like to have some people come in. It's already 12:53. Good lord. I have not streamed an hour, even 2 hours. This will be my first time streaming 2 hours. And it's stressful, but I'm going through this as best I can. So, since we're on topic on Stitch, Lilo and Stitch. Let's talk about Lilo and Stitch. So, if anybody's ever watched Lilo and Stitch, Lilo and Stitch is a 2002 movie about a alien named Stitch, or his code name 626, as he evokes his journey on a Hawaiian island, and he meets a Hawaiian girl named Lilo. That's the premise of the movie. Now, but the actual premise of the entire movie is more in depth. So this is how it goes. Basically, the movie starts in outer space in a weird spaceship that you'll soon learn it's the Galactic Uniforcers, which is this police patrol place that basically keeps aliens from at bay, so that way they don't destroy other worlds. In the conflicts, they're basically the police that they basically protect the space from Earth and all that stuff, but they also are like They know Earth, but they just haven't gone to Earth that many times. So that's the reason why when they found Earth, they're like, "What is that place?" And they forgot it was Earth. So that's how it worked. Anyways, um, on the day, but basically, this is basically at the beginning when like we have the two antagonists that you will mostly see in the movie, which is Jumba Jukiba, which he is a genetic evil scientist that has made 627 experiments. In the making, he has made the last experiment of his 626, also known as 626, an experiment that is more powerful than anything he's ever created. They are being judged to see if they are cooperated to not be punished to their own duties because Jumba has made a genetic experiment which is illegal to create in outer space. I don't know why, but it is. It's illegal. It's illegal to do it. I'm guessing it's because you can't splice DNA and call it a day and then say I made my own life form. I guess that's because I mean it makes sense because aliens today, I mean, we don't have aliens, but if we did have aliens, and they would splice DNA and they made us, that would be illegal because it's like saying that we're not like that anymore. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter for those reasons. Anyways, so in the background we have Gantu, which is this big dude. Hang on, I forgot to tell you, not the background, but when we get to the background. Anyways, the other second person that's next to the Jumba is 606, later known as Stitch, Stitch. Stitch. Stitch is a koala-like alien creature with blue fur, thin light blue fur with black eyes, antenna spines, and two arms that extend from his body. He is strong, flexible, easy to dodge. He is bulletproof, fireproof, and he can basically think faster than a supercomputer. He can see in the dark and have the same powers as a freaking tank, as he can lift up 3,000 times his own size, even though he's that small. So, and Stitch looks pretty cool. I like the design. It's very he looks very alienish, very nice and functionary. Later as a trialing on the other side of where Jumba and Stitch or 606 as now is two people. One named Gantu, which is this big dude that looks like a shark and a whale were mixed together, and the council, that you later learn that her name is I think crap um Azus. No, I can't remember what her name was. Um, I think her name is just called the council. And the council is basically there. She is basically saying, re read the charges. Mr. Jumba Dukiba, lead scientist of genetic experimentation. Oh wait, Mr. Jumba Jukiba, lead scientist of illegal genetic experimentation. And then like the experiment comes out with just 6 He is in a little ship. They bring him out, and then he's just all mad and stuff. In the conflicts, Stitch or 6 as right now is very aware of what's going on in the scenario, and it's a very it doesn't know what to say. And now, when she says, calm down, Gantu. Let's be very confidential. Experiment 626. Give us a sign that you are a rare. Give us a sign that something inside you is good." And then Stitch or 606 just says, "Mega rather squisha." And then in Alien thing, it means "shut up, face." And I was like, wow, that's funny. Does he even say? Mega Scarlet Squishka. It's basically it's what he said. It's very, very strenuous, but very so that stuff. So yeah, his talking is very alien. So it's like Miga Takita Urshika Ata Miga Taka Urkataka Chikana Ikamaka Matanaga. So it's very underrated alien language, but I don't know what he's saying. He could be saying, "I don't care about this," or "I don't. It's not my job or not my duty." So that's how it works. I'm not sure. So why do I have to say that the movie is or it's great? It's a great movie. It's a great movie. Anyways, um, after he says this, Jumba is now, and then Gantu's like, put that idiot scientist under arrest, and then like he literally gets in. Jumba's like, I should be far as evil genius, and then the girl's like, and as for the unexplained experiment, it's accused of violation. It is not an indication of assertion. Captain Gantu, take him away with pleasure. And then 66 is being uh he has been locked up in a little trap upside down and heading towards an asteroid field where he'll be dumped off so that way he doesn't do anything. Well, the plan is basically to dump off on an asteroid field that has nothing on it so he can just destroy the entire asteroid or anything he wants and he doesn't have to destroy anything else. But what would not happening is basically 66 has other plans. He basically starts slurring down his liquid spit. Actually, before that, Gantu is still kind of like saying, uncomfortable? Good. The council has banished you to exile on a distant asteroid, so relax, enjoy the trip, and don't get any ideas. These lasers are a signature to your DNA signature. They won't shoot anyone but you. And it's just like, nah! And then Gantu's like, why you? And then, like the little guy's like, my main captain, he's on duty. Secure the cell. Aye, Captain. And then he goes into his captain quarters, and then he's like, does this look infected to you? No, that's one of the funniest scenes ever. Like, it's funny because 66 bites him, and he says, "Does it look infected to you?" That's funny as heck. That's saying like two things. Awesome. Um, after that, 626 is slurring down his acid spit as he's just testing out the robot's mechanics of how they can actually simulate his DNA. And when he sees that, he's like, he has an idea. Since he's really smart, he can get he can get out of any scenario. So what he does is he spits at the ground, and the lasers shoot at the ground. And then all of a sudden they get like alert signs, and then the game is on the phone. He's like, "Council, what's going on down there?" And then 66 is like, and he shoots that gunk out, and it shoots and hits the police dude's hat. It it's on spit. Then lasers shoot out, and then they blow up the door, and that's where Stitch breaks out his handcuffs, and he uses the handcuffs as like little shields to get out of their way. And then Gantu just shins out the guards and tells them that go get away and shoot that little bastard and make sure he's dead. And then they try, but then in the process, Stitch is already he's very strong. So as a Stitch as 626 for sorry before I even call him Stitch, I'm supposed to call him 606. Sorry. Anyways, as 606 is escaping, the door is closing, so he grabs the thing and he's really strong. Then they actually show his muscles a little bit when he's lifting up those huge doors. It's pretty cool. And then as soon as they start shooting him, he immediately just breaks for it and gets into a vent and then shoots. And then they shoot through the vent, but he's already gone inside. And then like the alien dinosaurs are pretty cool. I like that. He's like, he's headed to the bridge. He's going to the then it's just like he's going to the comm center. And then like, what was that? And then the guy and the other person like, I don't think he's on the ship anymore. And then the girl's like, he isn't. He's taking a police cruiser. And the guy's like, and then 60 is like, oh ha, ah, and then like and then the person's like, yeah, he took the red one. It's so funny and cool. And as Stitch is being bombarded by police things, he starts shooting at them. Then all of a sudden they have the ganks on him, and then all of a sudden Stitch is like, "Ha ha ha! Ha, Monkey back!" Ha 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 ha! And then like he uses the button to engage his hyperdrive that he just somehow found, and he just shoots the okay, so before that, he basically is bombarded by police officers. They're shooting at him. He kicks off his thing before escaping, and he starts shooting at them. Somehow they get the upper hand, and then they shoot him, and they break his engines. Then 626 has this little plan where he sees a little button, he breaks the glass, and he lifts up the knob, and then he breaks the thing. In the background, they're like seeing the hyperdrive has been engaged, and now again just like, get out of there, or you gotta make a jump for it. And then and the police officers are like, clear the bridge or brace the ship. And then all of a sudden, as soon as Stitch hits, just like launches him, then he goes through hyperdrive, and that hyperdrive wave hits the ship, and it basically goes from lights out to like electrocution error. So, and then she's like, then the counselor was like, what? Where is he? Like, no, it's like a girl's voice. It's like she's like saying, where is he? And then the people are like, uh, counseling where he'll be going. Where will he be uh coming out? Going to a planet of not our own, a planet called the Earth. And then the person's like, and then she's like, I want an expert on this planet immediately. And then she's like, what is this all? What is all of this? And the tiger guy's like, water. A multiplier is covered in it. And then she's like, he won't survive in water. His density is too great. Oh. And then she's like, and as the thing keeps zooming and zooming and zooming and zooming, she's like, no. And then it shoots Kauai. That's where he'd be landing. Kauai, Hawaii. And she's like, of course. How much time do we have? We have 3 days, 2 hours, and 26 seconds and minutes. 3 hours, 26 minutes, and 27 seconds. We're gonna have to gas the planet. Then we have this other person in the movie called Plickly. Plickly is pretty dumb, but he's kind of funny. He's a little weird. He's like all over the place. And I kind of like Plickly. He's all like, hold it, hold everything. As you might know, the mosquito population is a very dangerous species. And then she's like, am I assuming you're the expert? Uh, expert, but Agent, Agent Bleakley at your service. Can't we just destroy the island? No, crazy head. Mosquito population association to these uh a ration of prior matter. Why I panic? Quietus, you know, 606 we don't possess. Who, Mr. Blickley, would you who, Mr. Blickley, would you send to his capture? Hmm, does he have a brother? Most relevant we ever have. That's where they take him to the where Jumba is being held in a prison for mostly the entire scene, and then they Jumba is seen as he sees like a newspaper, he rips up, he eats it. Then she is so he's like, Dobby where? Dobby where? I'm sure this is a surprise to you. I designed this creature to be unstoppable, which is it's why you will be bringing him back. What me? And to award you, we are willing to have your have your freedom for his capture. 606 is not going to be able to capture so easily. Maybe plasma copies might stun them just enough to plasma cannon granted. Do we have a bargain, Jumba? Hmm. And then please like, but it's a a delicate planet. Who's gonna control him? And she's like, you will. I was just joking. And then Jumba's like, so tell me one I won. On what poor, defenseless planet has my monstrosity been unleashed? And then later on, it's really awesome because we find out on Kauai, which is where 606 has gone, is a place where a little Hawaiian girl named Lilo, and she goes to hula class. And at the day, she has given a sandwich to her little pet fish. Uh, oh crap! I remember what her name, what the fish was. Pudge. Pudge the fish. That basically detects weather, which I guess is kind of cool. They did a bunch of deleted scenes that they were going to put Stitch and Lilo, where Lilo shows Stitch where Pudge is, and then Stitch kills him. I'm really glad they actually did that. And also, Lilo and Stitch was changed because 9/11, because they were going to have a plane that was going around an entire building. Now, the reason why they changed it to a nice spaceship and into a giant island valley, which is better looking, and I like it. I like the scene. Anyways, getting off topic. Anyways, after Lilo is being has beaten up her bully, her own girl bully, Myrtle, she is very interrupted by the hula announcer, and he calls up her stepmother Nani to pick her up. But then Lilo walks away and goes home herself. When Nani gets there, she's very weirded out where she went, and she goes and to go and see if she even says, "You better be home," and then she literally sees a car come in. She's like, hey, watch where you're going, stupid head." And then that's the not it was the person that's going to be coming over to see Lilo and Nani somehow. Uh, his name is Colbert Corbel Bubbles. He is a he's a Men in Black man, which means he knows all about the extraterrestrial and alien phenomenon because he's been to those places and stuff and all those things. So yeah. Anyways, so and after Lilo and Nani had this sort of little fight, Lilo and Nani get this sort of saying like, it's so hard because, well, I don't know how they even go through this way. You're wondering why is she acting so mean to Myrtle, and why does she have an only stepmother? Well, here's how the movie gets into the really grinding bones of the actual thing. The reason why Lilo gets a dog, and well, it named him Stitch, is because Lilo's parents died in a car accident when she was little, and ever since then, she's been with Nani, and Nani's just been her stepmother for the entire time. And the reason why she wanted to get Stitch or a dog was so that way she had someone to have, at least to have around, so that way she wasn't so lonely all the time. And Stitch makes a really good a person that can talk, and he can understand what she's feeling all the time, and it's very well done. And I liked it, and I kind of loved when Stitch finds the picture, and then Lilo's like, my family were in a car, and they ran into someone, and they actually got into an accident. They all died, but I survived in it. Did you have parents? Did they treat you okay? And Stitch is like, huh? What? Anyways, before that, I'm sorry, I'm getting really ahead of myself. After that, after that little speech with Nani and Lilo, the lights go out, and that's when 626 is flying out of the skies and crashes on Kauai finally. Lilo wishes for a wish that she will find an angel that will protect her from anything, and after that, 626 runs out saying, Moshaka, Chiki, and then like runs into the forest, and then he has his little blaster guns and showing off his mean skills at the thing. And all of a sudden, when rain comes out, he sees a frog. He says, "Mucha, Karachiki, uh, Chachi, Chachi, Chachi da!" And then he gets like freaking like hit by a truck and squished into a million pieces. He rips off his space suit, and that's how Stitch. That's how 626 ends up in a dog thing, and all that stuff. And when Lilo goes and get a dog, 66 thinks that the only way to get out of there is to basically get out of there. So he he gets out by ripping out the cage and going out to see if he can get out safely. In the process, he is led by a bunch of gunfire, and all of a sudden he hears Jumba. He's like, "Ha ha, ha ha! Nice to see your beauty, bluey face here." I said, and then 666 is like, huh, 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 huh. Jumba? And he climbs back in, goes back into the thing, and he's like, and then Lilo is in there. She's like, "Hello, hello. Is there anybody? Is there anybody? Is there any anybody? Is there any animals in here?" And then 66 sees at the board, and he's like, "Adopt today." Hmm. And he basically just does the coolest thing. He he attracts his antenna, he spines, and his other arms into himself to look like a little dog. And then he goes up to Lilo, and then Lilo's like, "Hi." I I mean, not. Hang on. So it's Lilo's like, "Hi," and then Stitch is like, 6 is like, "Huh, huh, hi," and then goes up to Lilo, and like she's like, "Wow, wow," and that's where she names the person. And then they said, "You gotta name him," and then Leo's like, "His name is Stitch," and then they're like saying, "That's not a name in Iceland, but here it's a good name. Uh, Stitch it is," and he's a $10 giveaway. I wanna buy him. Can I buy her $2? And he gives them to her, and then she gives it back, and then there we go. And she's like, and the person's like, "He's all yours." And then Jim was like in the background, he's like, "You're all mine." And then Blake is in the background. He's like, "Well, what's he doing?" Quiet, quiet. He is trying to snick us. How good? How good is he? How good is he hearing? And it's just like he literally just turns his head to see it, and that's where like Jumba just like literally squeezes his neck and just gives him that thing. And then they all send the little laser thing goes next to Stitch. He's like, then Joe's like, "Why are you running?" And then Stitch is, and then Stitch, and as now Stitch is now Stitch, and now Stitch is basically looks at things like, "Buck, Buck, Buck," and then Leo's like, uh, I'm coming, I'm coming," and then like Pig is like, "No, no, no, I have warned you, hazardous. Don't worry, I won't shoot her. No, it's your brain in the future. Uh, this line to see." And then she's like in the back, he's like, back, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then he was like, "What's the matter, Stitch?" stop, stop, bad dog, stop barking at things that aren't there. Uh-huh, uh-huh. And Piggy's like, you can't, you can't shoot first, and you can't be mean. Look at you. You look like a monster. We gotta blend in. Oh, I got you. And later in the background, they must have got some clothes, and they're now in the background, and it's probably the funniest scenes because you see him in clothes, and it's funny as heck. They're everywhere, and even when wherever Lilo and Stitch go, they're there, and they're just stalking them with their clothes. It's funny as heck. And Gemma's like, "When you're done, just give us a little hunch out, all right? Uh, tell us when you're done, my amigo, my little friend. When you're done, give up. Go and give us a little call, a little guy or thing. I'm not sure what he said. Um, then Stitch and Lilo are at this sort of like hula party place, and they're eating like stuff. And I like the part when Stitch and Lilo eat have the cake, and then Stitch is like, nom, 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 nom. And then Leo's like, hey. And then Stitch is like, puh. Oh. And then he's like, ew. Because he just spit it right out of his mouth. That's disgusting. And even took out the cherry that was in his mouth. That's disgusting too. Um, they didn't really show if Stitch goes to the bathroom, which is funny if he did, but that'd be kind of cool at the same time. So yeah. Oh man, the stream has gone a lot. Has gone more than I thought it would. So, well, at least after the until it gets to 1:55, it'll be 5 more minutes, and I'll have to stop it. So, gotta think of other things to say. After the hula thing, Lilo brings Stitch home to basically be greeted to the house, and Stitch is like very curious of all the things. He starts ripping up pillows and stuff, and then he starts using the blender. It doesn't really work as well, and then all of a sudden, Lilo says this. What about Ohana? And now he's like, he hasn't been here that very long. I don't care. Ohana means family. Dad said Ohana means family. Means nobody gets left behind. I know, I know. I hate it when you say Ohana to me. And then Leo gives a little nah, nah. That's how Stitch gets out of Nani's hands, and then they go upstairs to Leo's room. I like the part when Stitch and Leo are kind of getting along together to the actual thing, and Leo kind of says, "You want to be the king? You just might be like an Elvis fan." I like how Leo's trying to give Stitch an algorithm of be like different people. Like he can be a superhero or a cowboy or what he is right now. He's gonna be Elvis, and he did a pretty good Elvis thing. He did pretty good Elvis. He did pretty good Elvis because he can do a really good Elvis. He can actually since he's really smart, so he knows how to play a ukulele, which is really cool. I like that and other stuff, which is awesome. Um, I like the background that Coral Bubbles is in the background as well. Oh, even before that, the day comes, Coral Bubbles comes up to the house and she's like, "Heard that you lost your job today." Yes. Um, well, I'll make it a new one. And then Stitch in the background is like, and throws a book at him, and he's like, "Hey!" And then and not leave, and then now he's like, "I am so sorry about that." And then Coco is like, "What is that thing?" And then Leo's in it. She's like, "That's my puppy." Really? For course. But I cannot have you having this house and not be jobless. And if I see this thing, and I would see if it was a mindly citizen. Capiche? He does have eyes. He doesn't like taking off his sunglasses. It makes sense. Man, there's a lot of stuff. And Lilo and Stitch. What other things I want to talk about? After the little moment of him trying to be Elvis, it doesn't work well, and then David, the server guy from Hula Place, where he basically does like the fire torches and stuff. Uh, he asks Lilo and Nani and Stitch to go on a little surfing thing, and they go on it, and there's like this little music sort of deal of like on a Hawaiian roller coaster ride, and then it's pretty good. It's good music. It's very well done music. The music in Lilo and Stitch is very nice. It's not like it's not custom. It's basically actual Hawaiian music with a mix of Elvis stuff in it. So I like that. I love that. And they should traditionally put Elvis songs in it so that way, and it's not copyrighted because Lilo and Stitch and Disney are founders of Elvis, so they like their music, so it makes sense for Lilo and Stitch to have it. So, anyways, after David gives them this sort of surfing trip, Jumba and Pliggly are on top of a palm tree, and then he's like, "Why is he resistant to drowning?" And then that's when they found the way to get off his shoulder, and Stitch kind of gets in the rough shoulder by eating his oxygen tank, and they get blown out of the surface. It's a really good movie. I'm running out of time. Like I can never spend an hour, but I don't want to spend an hour. It's already been 2 hours. So if anybody was on the stream, thank you guys if you were on the stream, and I really hope you guys liked it. If you didn't, that's fine. If when I forget my live stream card for the mail sooner or later, or one day, I'm not sure, or when I find out how I get it, then I'll do another stream with more Stitch topics and stuff. But thank you guys for watching. Uh, Here we go. Crazy zombie is out.